So, welcome students. Welcome to Data Communications course. So, today we are heading towards week 7 lecture. Now, in week 7, we are going to study about protocol layering. Basically, we are heading towards the TCP/IP protocol and the OSI reference model. So, before TCP/IP suite and OSI reference model, we will briefly study or we will briefly know about protocol layering. Now, before protocol layering, what is protocol? So we have already discussed that protocol means rules that both the sender and receiver and all intermediate devices need to follow to be able to communicate effectively. It means for a successful communication system, a set of rules should be provided, and that rules should be followed by the sender and the receiver. Otherwise, the communication will not be successful. So that set of rules are known as protocols. Now, what is protocol layering? See, in a system, in a communication system, there are multiple tasks, multiple functions between sending and receiving a message. So all these tasks can be divided into different layers, or they or we can continue communication without layering or with only one layer. But in that case, say for example, we have a simple communication model. So in those kinds of simple communication models, we are able to use only one simple layer of protocol. But if we have a complex communication system, then it is very much difficult if we maintain a single layer of protocol. The task will be very much easier if we divide the functions into different layers, and if we use multiple layers, and if we divide the multiple functions, or if we assign different functions to different layers, then that is known as protocol layering. If we use multiple layering, if we divide multiple tasks to multiple layers, then that is known as protocol layering. So let's say an example of a practical communication, or of a real life example of a communication system. Say for example, there are two friends. One is Maria and another one is Anne. Now Maria and Anne, they are talking to each other. Okay, they are talking to each other. Uh, uh, what should I say? They are talking to each other. Uh, they are just not in the telephone, but they are in practical life. They are face to face. They are communicating face to face, or they are talking face to face. So when they are talking. The voice generated from Maria, or the voice generated from Anne, is traveling through the air. So air is the medium here. Now through air, the voice signal or the voice is transmitting from Maria to Anne. Now in this practical communication system, only one layer is there present, and that is the air medium. So she is talking and she is listening. So there is a simple one layer communication model. Now, in this layer one, or in this simple communication model, there should be some set of rules or set of protocols. Now, what are the rules in this case? Say, for example, Maria and Anne, they are two friends. When they will meet and they will start talking, to first they need to greet. They should say hi or hello, how are you, or they should say salam. Now, after that, they should start talking about any particular point, but there should be some common language between Maria and Anne. Otherwise, they will not be able to understand what the other person is speaking. So there should be a common language. There should be some common vocabulary between them. And when when they are completed with their conversation, at the end of their conversation, they should greet again, like saying, okay, bye, we will meet again, or we will speak again. Okay, or they can say salam or goodbye. So these are the uh, common traits or common set of rules in case of a real life communication or real life conversation. So these are protocols. We can say these are protocols. We can say these are set of rules. But this is a simple communication model, so it is known as a single layer protocol. Now we will see another example here. So it is a multi-layer protocol communication model. So we can see, we can say that this is one complex communication model. Now, in this complex communication model, let's assume that Maria and Anne are now in two different cities. Now they are not doing conversation face to face, but they are far apart. They are in two different cities. Now, uh, now the communication between them are happening in these three layers. Say, for example, when Maria is talking that there is some specific machine. Now, this machine will convert the voice messages of Maria into some plain text. Okay, this machine will convert the talking of Maria into some plain text. So this conversation is happening in this layer 3 by this machine. Now, uh, after this plain text, in layer 2, some encryption and decryption will happening. Now, what is Maria speaking? They just don't want to share their talking or conversation with any other person. So they are encrypting their message. So in layer 2, some encryption is happening. So this plain text is converted into ciphertext. So this original message is encrypted in this layer 2. Now this ciphertext is being inserted in an envelope, and in layer 1, this envelope is sent via some delivery process, and or some postal carrier, and this mail or this envelope will receive to the receiving section of N. Now this whole process will go in the reverse direction. Now, from this postal carrier service, this mail or this envelope is received in this layer 1 of ends and side. Now, after receiving this envelope, the ciphertext from this envelope is opened and inserted in layer 2. Now in layer 2, just the opposite of layer 2 of Maria will be happening here. So in layer 2, this ciphertext will be decrypted or will be decrypted into plain text, and that will be given to the layer 3. Now from this plain text, there will be some speaker. Now from this plain text, that speaker will give the message of Maria to Anne. Now this is the process of communication from Maria to Anne. This is the process of sending some message from Maria to Anne. Now we can see that there are different layers. There are 3 layers. So this is layer 3, layer 2, layer 1, and similar to these 3 layers, in the end side, there are also these 3 layers. So the operation, what were happening in this case, just the opposite is happening in Anne's side. So this is a 3-layer protocol or 3-layer protocol communication model. Okay, now there are some advantages and disadvantages of protocol layering. Now, what are the advantages? So the advantages are modularity. Modularity means, like, see, when Maria is giving some message, so that message is received to N in this whole process. So the whole process is divided into different layers. Now each layer is doing some specific function. Okay, layer 3 is doing some specific function, and in this case layer 3 is doing just the opposite function. In layer 2, in case of Maria, layer 2 is doing some encryption, and in layer 2, in case of N, layer 2 is doing the decryption. So just the opposite of encryption is happening here. So, and they are assigned to do this particular task. Either this layer will encrypt or decrypt. Either this layer will listen or talk. Okay, so every layer has a certain function, has a certain role. It cannot be interchanged between layers. So modularity means, say for example, when you are doing the whole process in just one layer, in that case, the system will be, or the task will be more complex. But when in layering, you are just dividing the whole task into smaller portions, and every layer is doing that smaller part. So if this layer, if every layer is doing its job successfully, then the whole job will be done successfully, right? So layering will make the whole task very much simple and effective. Okay, so a complex problem can be solved using layering in a very simple process. So modularity means that this layering makes the solution more easier. Now, separation of service and implementation. It means that what I have said, that each layer is doing some specific operation or some specific function. So they are separated from each layers. Now, the third advantage is reduced complexity and cost. It is just related to the first advantage. When you are simplifying the solution process, the whole complexity of the system will reduce and the whole cost will reduced also. Say, for example, if any problem arise with encryption, then you have to look to layer 2 only. You will just need to look to layer 2 and you just need to fix layer 2. But if you do not have layering, then in case of encryption, you have to revise the whole process. You need to fix the whole function. But when you are using layering and you know that there are some problem with encryption, you will only concentrate on this layer. Okay, so this is how you can save time, you can save cost. Now, the disadvantages of protocol layering are none really. So there are not that much specific disadvantages of a protocol layering. Now, protocol layering principles. So in protocol layering, there are two principles. One is bidirectional communication, which means each layer performs two opposite tasks in each direction. It means that each layer does the opposite task in each direction. Say, for example, layer 2 in this case, in Maria case, layer 2 is doing what? It is just converting the plain text into ciphertext. But in case of this layer 2, this direction is like this. The data is going in this direction, and in this case, the data is going through this direction. So in layer 2, in this layer 2 is converting the ciphertext into plain text. But in this case, the layer 2 is converting the plain text into ciphertext. So each layer should be able to perform two opposite tasks in each direction. Okay. The other principle is two objects under each layer at both sides should be identical. Two objects under each layer at both sides should be identical. It means, what are the objects? Like in each layer, we have different objects. Like what? Like in layer 3, we have plain text. In layer 2, we have ciphertext. In layer 1, we have main. So, two objects under each layer at both sides should be identical. It means in layer 1, in this both layer 1, these two objects should be identical. Identical means they should be same. The identical objects, which means here we can see main. Here also we can see main. Here is ciphertext. Here is also ciphertext. Here is plain text. Here is also plain text. So the object should be identical in each layer, in each side. So these are the two basic principles of protocol layering. So this is the end of today's lecture.